We must love or we grow ill. In the small matters trust the mind, in the large ones the heart. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Love and work, work and love, that's all there is. We seek more to take suffering away from ourselves than to gain pleasure. Before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, make sure that you're not surrounded by fools. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive, and will come forth later in uglier ways. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. Where they love they do not desire, and where they desire they do not love. At a woman's breast, love and hunger are crossed. The only person with whom you have to compare ourselves is that you in the past. A busy man is seldom visited by idle friends. No flies fly to a boiling pot. The only shame in masturbation is the shame of not doing it well. If you want your wife to listen to you, then talk to another woman, she will be all ears. Only the complete absence of sex can be considered a sexual deviation. Everything else is a matter of taste. Friendship is an art of keeping distance, while love is an art of intimacy. You do not stop looking for strength and confidence outside, but you should look inside yourself. They have always been there. If you want to endure life, prepare yourself for death. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. No mortal can keep a secret. If his lips are silent, he chatters with his fingertips. Betrayal oozes out of him at every pore. Maturity is the ability to postpone gratification. Everyone owes nature a death. Men are more moral than they think, and far more immoral than they can imagine. History is just new people making old mistakes. Limitation in the possibility of an enjoyment raises the value of the enjoyment. The first requisite of civilization is that of justice. If you don't like a person, it's because they remind you of something you don't like about yourself. Without love, we fall ill. Dreams are the royal road to the unconscious. Depression is a frozen fear. The energetic and successful man is the one who succeeds in transforming the fantasies of desire into reality. If youth knew, if age could. Nothing costs so much in life as illness and ignoring an illness. The goal of all life is death. A father's death is the most important event, the more heartbreaking and poignant loss in a man's life. I suppose that romantic love was invented as a brilliant means of seduction. Envy is destructive, don't be tempted by it. Live by your own rules. A husband is almost always only a substitute for the beloved man, and not this man himself. Experience teaches us that the world is not a nursery. The first indication of stupidity is a complete lack of shame. All people are born bisexual, and later choose their sexual orientation, depending on their life circumstances. When inspiration does not come to me, I go halfway to meet it. We enter the world with loneliness, and lonely leave it. A man is sometimes more generous when he has little money than when he has much, perhaps to keep from thinking he has none at all. Words have a magical power. They can bring either the greatest happiness or deepest despair. A woman should soften, but not weaken a man. Religion is a universal compulsive neurosis. Everything that you do in bed is perfectly and absolutely acceptable, if only both sides enjoyed it. Masturbation is one of the primary abodes, the primary addiction. Subsequent addictions, alcohol, tobacco, morphine, are only its substitutes. All family life is organized around the most damaged person in it. The sexual life of adult women is a dark continent for psychology. The great question that has never been answered, and which I have not yet been able to answer, despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul, is, what does a woman want? We adults don't understand children because we don't understand our own childhood anymore. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. Religious doctrines are all illusions, they do not admit of proof, and no one can be compelled to consider them as true or to believe in them. A woman will never want sex with a man who doesn't get her hints. If you can't do it, give up. The behavior of a human being in sexual matters is often prototype for the whole of his other modes of reaction in life. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. I have found little good about human beings. In my experience, most of them are trash. A man who has been the indisputable favorite of his mother, keeps for life the feeling of a conqueror. Sadism is all right in its place, but it should be directed to proper ends.